guys, and welcome to yet another episode of the Left Side View. And this is Amitabh, and I have Rahul with me. Today, we'll be discussing the Champions League knockout draw, a farcical draw, I must say. The UEFA managed to have technical difficulties while placing 16 balls, and yeah, so the draw had to be made twice, and we'll be discussing the matches. That are scheduled to happen in Feb and March of next year. Rahul, before we start, what do you have to say about the difficulties that UEFA faced?
Well, it was a shambles, to be honest. But then at the same time, when we look at the brighter picture, the draw that Chelsea got initially, we had the same draw. So yes, overall, I'm pretty happy.
Yeah. I mean, yes. I mean, from a Chelsea point of view, of course, nothing ventured, nothing gained. But as far as I cannot wrap my head around how these people who were supposed to be running the football on the entire continent, how do they manage to make such mistakes? Anyways, let's start. Let's start with the first match. Red Bull Salzburg against Bayern Munich. Good luck, Salzburg. Okay, so how we intend to do about this is we'll have a prediction now, as of now. Then we'll have a prediction before the first leg, and after the first leg, see, because obviously it will all be about probabilities, and we'll take a call because there's this January transfer window to consider injuries, fatigue, whatnot. So obviously there are so many variables that cannot be accounted for right now. So I think there's a clear-cut winner here. Rahul, would you like to bet for Salzburg?
Oh no, I don't want to lose my money. Well, yes. So I think Liverpool are the clear favorites at this point in time. And if I'm not wrong, then I think these two were in the same group last year as well. When Jesse Marsch was actually the manager of Salzburg. So yes, even though he was the manager, but then they still lost. But yes, at this point in time, Liverpool not only one of the favorites to beat Salzburg, but actually one of the favorites to win the entire competition. So yeah, difficult to see past them.
Okay, the next match is Sporting Lisbon against Manchester City. Again, an easy fixture for City. They should get by this round of matches pretty unharmed. Okay, and there's just one more update for this season's knockout matches. There'll be no away rules. Away goal rule has been discarded, and if the score is tied on aggregate after 180 minutes, then we go to extra time. And if it is the same after extra time as well, we go to penalties. So Lisbon against City, Rahul.
Well, yes. So we have to go with experience as well. I think the fact that Ruben Amorim, the manager of Sporting Lisbon, I think he's going to be making his debut in the knockout round. So at this point in time, and the fact that City got so close last season, I think they will be gunning, for the title this year. So yes, difficult to see past City when it comes to their match against Sporting Lisbon.
Yeah. Same faith, same views here. City could go through. The next match is Benfica against Ajax. Ajax, the big hitters of the group stages, one of the three teams, I guess, Liverpool and Bayern being the others, to win all 6 of the matches. Would you bet against them, against Benfica?
I think on paper, Benfica versus Ajax looks actually a very exciting and mouth-watering tie, to be honest. Because with Benfica, they do have, maybe recently they haven't really done as well, but then they are considered one of the powerhouses of European football. And the fact that Benfica managed to knock out Barcelona and send them to the Europa League, I think they will be full of confidence. This will be a tough test, I think. It could be close, but yes, if you want a prediction or, if you want to know one team that will go through, then yes, Ajax are the favorites, but I think just slight.
Okay. I think I'd like to go for Ajax as well as of now. Let's see what happens by Feb. The next match, our match against Lille. Oh, we got Lille twice. We were lucky today. I mean, there were only 4 teams that we could have gotten, and I was just happy the second time around when Bayern Munich drew the first match. Okay, when we discussed even in the earlier podcast, we were okay with anyone except Munich. So We get Lille again. Lille have been performing well. They topped their group in Champions League. But I think we should have enough to get past them in this round. Your take?
Well, yes. So 2 seasons ago, when Lampard was the manager, I think 2019-20 season, we actually managed to beat them twice. We did double over them in the group stage. We were in the same group in 2019-20 season. So yes, even this season, I think the fact that there's so much rumors, so many rumors surrounding their star defender Sven Botman, that he could actually go to Newcastle. So if, let's say, Sven Botman were to leave Lille, then I think their defense would be much weakened. And yes, on paper, it is just so difficult to look past Chelsea in this one.
Okay, the next matches, I think both the teams will be happier with this match because Atletico had Bayern and United had PSG. Now they're facing each other. So at this point of time, I really have no idea who's going to win because maybe the second match being at home, United maybe slight favorites, but and again with a couple of months with Radnik, maybe he'll be able to deploy his methods and practices in the team, and maybe United will be more free flowing. But right now, I just see this as a battle of attrition, and both the teams being solid in both the matches. I have no preference right now, frankly speaking. What do you have to say?
Yeah, I think people are going to say that United are the clear favorites, but I think it could be more close than people think, because Ragnik is still, getting to grips with this United side, and you don't know if they will make any signings in January or not. And Atletico, I think if by that time, by the time this tie comes around, if Atletico are totally out of the title picture in the league, then maybe they could put all their eggs in one basket and they could actually go for the Champions League. And we have already seen that Atletico have not really won the Champions League, but they've actually reached the final twice when they lost twice to their derby rivals, Real Madrid. So even 2 seasons ago, they knocked out Liverpool. So if they can, and another, in a way, a return to Spain for Ronaldo, let's see. I'm a little on the fence for this one.
Okay, you and me same. The next match, Villarreal versus Juventus. I don't know how to call this one as well, because right now Juventus cannot. Somehow they won the group. I mean, yes, but it's pretty difficult to bet for them right now with the performances that we have seen. And Villarreal have been going well. They beat Atalanta, and again, I think this is right down the middle. No clear-cut favorites. Even 51-49, I cannot say one team right now. So maybe we'll have a better idea closer to match day.
Yeah, I think if Juventus can actually manage to sign a decent striker in January, plus Villarreal always, under Emery, they would always give any team a tough competition in a knockout match. They even managed to, take Chelsea due to penalties in the Super Cup. So
the Super Cup,
yeah.
Now I have high hopes from the next match, quite frankly, because it's Inter against Liverpool, and I know Inter does not fare that well in Europe, and Liverpool are all high and mighty. But somehow I think it will be different this time around. Maybe Liverpool will go through. I mean, they are on paper right now 60-40 favorites, at least in my books, to go through. But I think it will be a better and improved performance by Inter.
I'm not as hopeful as you are, to be honest. The proof is in the pudding, simple as that. I mean, they cannot even beat. They lost to Real Madrid home and away. So Liverpool are better than Real Madrid. They are much more ruthless. They managed to win all their 6 games.
Yeah.
And the fact that
I mean, I'm still picking Liverpool, but I just think that the match will be entertaining and it will be a closely fought battle. At least that is what I'm hoping.
Yeah, we're hoping. Obviously, if we're hoping, then we want Inter to knock Liverpool out. But let's see.
And then perhaps the tie of the last 16, PSG against Real Madrid. Mbappe going to Madrid before the summer. And if that pre-contract happens in January, this match will have that added edge. Believe me.
Will he give us 100% or not?
Yeah, I mean, even if he does not, there'll always be that cloud of uncertainty. But if that pre-contract happens, I remember something like this happened with Mario Götze when he was playing for Dortmund, and he hobbled off against Munich in the Champions League final, I guess. So, yeah,
2013
I
final.
think, yeah, that happened against Diego Costa as well when they were playing us. But then, yeah, he had that hamstring injury and the whole Placenta stuff and all that happened. So then he joined us in the summer. So this will be much, much bigger than both those incidents. And as of now, I think it will be a battle of midfields and defense because both the teams are very strong in terms of attacking. And Real Madrid are head and shoulders above PSG when it comes to, especially midfield. Even their defense is a little stronger. So at least in my books, Madrid are to go through.
I'm surprised that you're saying Madrid have a better chance. I mean, obviously, on paper, like the, the the team that has better individuals, then it's not just against Real Madrid, but actually the whole world. It's PSG who have a better set of individuals, and I think by that time you will also have Neymar back. But yes, we do have to give consideration to the fact that Real Madrid managed by Carlo Ancelotti, who's more like a Champions League specialist, and all these added layers, Messi going back to Spain, Neymar going back to Spain, and Kylian Mbappe, who's actually uh, destined to join Real Madrid, going back, or rather not going back, but actually it's more like an audition for him. He's going to play against Real Madrid. So let's see. By that time, have they actually done more to gel as a team? Because if they're still playing the way they're playing right now, then yes, I would obviously expect Real Madrid to beat them. But if
I think experience will be such a crucial factor in this match. Real Madrid team knows how to win. Ancelotti knows how to win. Same can't be said about Pochettino. And when we talk about individuals, yes, PSG have better individuals, but again, do those individuals make the team perform better? I mean, we've discussed it at length that with the top three not, uh, doing their defensive duties, it is difficult for the other 7 people to actually, be solid from midfield and at the back. So, uh, yeah, let's see. Of course, individual brilliance can turn any time, and we will not hold it against Neymar, Mbappe, and Messi to have that wonder goal. It is always
actually,
just
there's
coming
one name
around.
that we forgot to mention: Sergio Ramos. He's going back to Real Madrid.
Yeah, let's hope he's injury free by then. And yeah, it will be I don't know, some sort of a welcome, maybe not a hero's welcome, but some sort of welcome in store for him as well. So we're going, I mean, I'm going for Madrid. I think the same is with you, Rahul. As of now,
Yes.
nothing written in stone.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So moving on. Now there's been a format change for the Europa League. The teams that finished third in Champions League group stages and the teams that finished third in the Europa League group stages, they'll be playing knockout round of 32. And given some big teams crashed out of the Champions League this year, we have some tasty affairs in this round as well. So let's start with Barcelona against Napoli. Rahul?
Well, yes, Barcelona versus Napoli. I think just imagine, how the Whitey have fallen. I think just 2 or 3 seasons ago, these two teams were playing against each other in the Champions League. But yes, I think it's gonna be Napoli. I think
Yeah.
Barcelona probably entering total self-destruct mode. And if they don't, make any signings or things don't improve, then it's going to be really difficult for them to even save face against Napoli.
Yeah,
Especially
I
especially if by then, like we talked about the other teams, if by then Napoli are out of the title contention in their league, then even they will be putting all their eggs in the Europa League basket.
the same can happen with Barca, but I just feel that right now Napoli is looking better as a team. I know the match is 2 months down the line, but
Um,
again, we're
Also,
doing
I
these
think by the
predictions.
time these matches take place in February, even any players who have gone to AFCON, African Cup of Nations, even they will be back. So their star striker, who is in such scintillating form this season, Victor Osimhen, even he will be back by then. So if Napoli at this point in time, or by then, if both the teams are at full strength, then you expect Napoli to go through.
Yeah, yeah. The next match is Dortmund against Rangers. Is this a mismatch? Will this be as close as we think? I think Dortmund should easily survive this
Yes,
tie.
yes, I expect Dortmund to win it. I think Haaland will probably savor this chance. At this, but yes, there's one thing that we can probably look forward to is a great atmosphere. Be it Dortmund, be it Rangers. I think the fans are going to be up
Uh,
for these two matches. That's another thing. It's going to be wild, I think.
let's hope that COVID does not strike by then and we get to experience that atmosphere because, of course, these two teams have great stadium presence and the hosts really made that 12th player count, the audience, the spectators. Then we have Porto against Lazio. That's
Yes,
again, yeah.
I think another interesting match. I think Lazio, Sarri's Lazio versus Porto. Porto, the fact that they didn't win their league last time, and even this season, I think they're lagging behind the defending champions, Sporting Lisbon, and even Lazio. They're probably going to be more focused on trying to finish in the top four. I think again a very close tie to call. I think anyone could take this one.
Yeah, among the other matches, it's Atalanta against Olympiacos, Leipzig, Sociedad, Sevilla, Zagreb, Sheriff, Braga, and Petersburg versus Betis. Would you like to take up any of these matches?
I think Atlanta should win,
Yeah,
and Leipzig versus Sociedad. You said right?
yeah,
That could be a close one. I think yes, Sociedad are doing well. They were actually on top as well for a while in La Liga.
yeah.
So again, it's about how the new manager, because we at this point in time we just don't know what their philosophy is under the new manager, and it also depends a lot on what their position in the league is. But it could
Uh,
be a
uh,
close match.
I think Sociedad star midfielder Januzaj, he's been linked to Barcelona, ex-Man U player.
Yeah,
Let's see.
Belgian. Yeah. I think that. So, oh yes, I think Leipzig have Alexander Sørloth. He actually joined Sociedad from Leipzig. He was actually supposed to be Timo Werner's replacement. Didn't really work out for him last season at Leipzig, so he joined Sociedad. So yes, we're probably going to see him take on, maybe with a point to prove against Leipzig, his old team.
Yeah, okay. There are a bunch of conference lead matches as well, but we'll have our predictions closer to match day. With that, I think that brings us to the end of this video. Thank you guys for watching this. Eagerly anticipating and waiting for the Europe matches to kickstart in Feb. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Thank you, guys.